everybody. Hope everyone's days, months, and this year has been well. And hopefully, everybody is gathering their things, such as like their friends, their family together, to come to peace, to come to love. I'm gonna jump down today to Psalms 137. And I made a previous video on this topic of Jerusalem. Okay, how we supposed to remember Jerusalem and why Jerusalem is very important to remember. Okay, so I'm gonna jump down to over here to Psalms. Psalms 137. By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down, yea, we wept when we remembered Zion. We hung our harps upon the willows in the midst thereof. For they that carried us away captive required of us a song. In my other previous video on Remember Jerusalem, I guess I was reading a little bit too fast that I didn't mention the word captive, but I made sure in this video to add that in. So they required us of a song. Okay, for they that carried us away captive required of us a song, and they that wasted us required of us mirth, saying, Sing us one of the songs of Zion. How shall we sing Yahweh's song in a strange land? If I forget thee, O Jerusalem, let the right hand forget her cunning. So, the importance of remembering Zion and Jerusalem is because that's our homeland. According to Galatians chapter 4, verse 16, that is our homeland. That's where we belong. The Israelites. That's where we prosper the most. The stones are beautiful. The dust thereof, it's marvelous. Everybody, all nations, heathens, they desire to be in Jerusalem. They desire to set their feet upon the holy land of Jerusalem. In the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 9, Esdras gets this vision. He gets a token from God, actually. And the Lord shows him okay. Let me just jump down to chapter 9. I'm going to jump down to chapter 9, verse... Right over here, let me see real fast. Okay, I'm gonna start at verse 35. The thing also which was sown or cast therein and received doth perish, and remain not with us. But with us it hath not happened so. For we that have received the law perished by sin, in our heart also which received it. Notwithstanding the law perished not, but remaineth in his force. And when I spake these things in my heart, I looked back with my eyes, and opened the right side. I saw a woman, and behold, she mourned and wept with a loud voice, and was much grieved in her heart. And her clothes was rent, and she had ashes upon her head. Then let I my thoughts go that I was in, and turned me unto her. And I said unto her, Wherefore weepest thou? Why art thou grieved in thy mind? And she said unto me, Sir, let me alone, that I may bewail myself, and add unto my sorrow, for I am sore vexed in my mind, and brought very low. So the reason why the Israelites were carried away from Jerusalem to Babylon, to Nebuchadnezzar's place, was because they transgressed the Most High's laws, and upon that they worshiped demons, they worshiped idols, they worshiped things that were man-made. That's the reason why they perished, and the Lord gave them up to captivity, basically. Over here, Esdras gets a token he gets to be shown something about a woman. She has ashes upon her head, and she's very vexed in her mind, and she's weeping. So let's see what's this about. And I said unto her, What aileth thee? Tell me. She said unto me, I thy servant have been barren, and had no child, though I had an husband 30 years. And those 30 years I did nothing else day and night, and every hour, but make my prayer to the highest. After 30 years Elohim heard me, thine handmaid looked upon my misery, considered my trouble, and gave me a son. And I was very glad of him. So was my husband also, and all my neighbors. And we gave great honor unto the Almighty. And I nourished him with great travail. So when he grew up and came to the time that he should have a wife, I made a feast. And it so came to pass that when my son was entering into his wedding chamber, he fell down and died. Then we all overthrew the lights, and all my neighbors rose up to comfort me. So I took my rest until a second day at night. And it came to pass when they all left up to comfort me, to the end I might be quiet. Then rose I up night and fled, and came hither into this field, as thou seest. So she lost her son. Okay, she was barren first, and she made supplication unto the Lord, and um, she conceived and had a son, but her son died. He fell down and died. So she's vexed and sore displeased right now. And it came to pass when they had all left off to comfort me, to the end I might be quiet. Then arose I up by night and fled, and came hither into this field, as thou seest. And I do now propose that to return into the city, but here to stay, neither to eat nor drink, but continue to mourn and to fast until I die. Then left I the meditation where I was, and spake to her in anger, saying, Thou foolish woman above all other, seest thou now our mourning, and what happeneth unto us? So Esdras, he's in meditation right now. The Lord is having him to fast for 7 days, and 7 nights, and another 7 days and nights for him to reveal secrets and mysteries. Right now, Esdras is sore displeased, and he called this woman a foolish woman. And does she not see that during Esdras' time, his people was going to a time of tribulation? They was trying to build a city of Jerusalem, or they was trying to build Jerusalem, the second temple, but a lot of the enemies was slowing them down, and Esdras, he had a lot of questions to ask the Lord, so the Lord gave him obstacles, and Esdras needed to, to participate in a way and overcome them. But the Israelites were still in a time where they needed Esdras because he was a priest, and they needed his commands. How that Zion our mother is full of all heaviness, and much humble mourning very sore. And now, seeing we all mourn and are sad, for we are all in heaviness, art thou grieved for one son? For ask the earth, and she shall tell thee that it is she which ought to mourn for the fall of so many that grew upon her. For out of her came all at the first, and out of her shall all others come. And behold, they walk almost all into destruction, and a multitude of them is utterly rooted out. Who then shall make more mourning than she that hath lost so great multitude, and not thou, which art sorry but for one? But if thou sayest unto me, My lamentation is not like the earth's, because I have lost the fruit of my womb, which I brought forth with pains and bare with sorrows, but the earth not so, for the multitude present in it according to the course of the earth is gone as it came. Then say I unto thee, like as thou hast brought forth with labor, even so the earth also hath given her fruit, namely man, ever since the beginning unto him that made her. Now therefore keep thy sorrow to thyself, and bear with a good courage that which hath befallen thee. If thou shalt acknowledge the determination of Elohim to be just, thou shalt both receive thy son in time, and should be commended among women. Go thy way unto thy city to thine husband. And she said unto him, That will I not do. I will not go into the city, but here will I die. So I proceeded to speak further unto her, and said, Do not so, but be counselled by me. For how many are thy adversities of Zion? Be comforted in regard of the sorrow of Jerusalem. For thou seest our sanctuary is laid waste, our altar broken down, our temple destroyed. Upholstery is laid on the ground, our song is put to silence, our rejoicing is at the end. The light of our candlestick is put out, the ark of our covenant is spoiled. Our holy things are defiled, and the name that is called upon us is almost profaned. Our children are put to shame, our priests are burnt, our Levites are gone into captivity, our virgins are defiled, and our wives ravished. Our righteous men carried away, our little ones destroyed, our young men are brought in bondage, and our strong men are become weak. And which is the greatest of all, the sea of Zion hath not lost her honor, for she is delivered into the hands of them that hate us. So the earth mourned for Jerusalem. You know, Jerusalem, during the time of Jerusalem's days, when when she was being carried away captive, the Israelites, that is, there were a lot of them got put to death, so a lot of them died, and the earth mourns for that, for it has been said that blood defileth the land. So right now, Esdras is going into basically how Jerusalem is pretty much been defiled and become weak, from the men to the children to the women, okay? And the woman's listening. And therefore shake off the great heaviness and put away the multitude of sorrows, that the mighty may be merciful unto thee again, and the highest shall give thee rest and ease from thy labor. And it came to pass, while I was talking with her, behold, her face upon a sudden shined exceedingly, and her countenance glistered, so that I was afraid of her, and mused what it might be. And behold, suddenly she made a great cry, very fearful, so that the earth shook at the noise of the woman. And I looked, and behold, the woman appeared unto me no more. But there was a city builded in a large place, shewed itself from the foundation. Then was I afraid, and carried with a loud voice, and said, Where is Uriel the angel, who came unto me at the first? For he hath caused me to fall into many trances, and mine end is turned into corruption, and my prayer to rebuke. And as I was speaking these words, behold, he came unto me, and looked upon me. And lo, I lay as one that had been dead, and mine understanding was taken from me. And he took me by the right hand, and comforted me, and set me upon my feet, and said unto me, What aileth thee, and why art thou so disquieted? And why is thine understanding troubled, and thy thoughts of thine heart? And I said, Because thou hast forsaken me, and yet I did according to thy words. And I went into the field, and look, I have seen, and yet see that I am not able to express. And he said unto me, Stand up manfully, and I will advise thee. Then said I, Speak on, my Lord, and me, only forsake me not, lest I die frustrate of my hope. For I have seen that I knew not, and hear that I do not know, or in my sense deceived, or my soul in a dream. Now therefore I beseech thee, that thou wilt shew thy servant of this vision. He answered me then, and said, Hear me, and I shall inform thee, and tell thee wherefore thou art afraid, for the highest will reveal many secret things unto thee. He has seen that thy way is right, for thou sorrowest continually for thy people, and makest great lamentation for Zion. This therefore is the meaning of the vision which thou lately sawest. Thou sawest a woman mourning, and begettest to comfort her. But now seest the likeness of the woman no more. But there appeared unto thee a city builded. And whereas she told thee of the death of her son, this is the solution. This woman whom thou sawest is Zion. And whereas she said unto thee, even she whom thou seest as a city builded, whereas I say she said unto thee, that she had been 30 years barren. Those are the 30 years wherein there was no offering made in her. But after 30 years Solomon builded the city and offered offerings, and then bare the barrenness son. And whereas she told thee that she nourished him with labor, that was the dwelling in Jerusalem. But whereas she said unto thee that my son coming into his marriage chamber happened to have a fail and died, this was the destruction that came to Jerusalem. And behold, thou sawest her likeness, and because she mourned for her son, thou beginnest to comfort her. And of these things which have chanced, these are too open unto thee. For now the Most High seeth that thou art grieved unfeignedly, and sufferest from the whole heart for her, so that he shew thee the brightness of her glory, and the comeliness of her beauty. And therefore I bade thee remain in the field where no house was builded, for I knew that the highest would shew this unto thee. Therefore I command thee to go into the field where no foundation of any building was, for in the place wherein the highest began to shew his city, there can no man's building be able to stand. So a lot going on right here. You got Uriel the angel speaking to Esdras and showing him the interpretation of the dream, the vision that he saw, how that woman that was that he was comforting is Zion and Jerusalem, and that the city is basically going to be Jerusalem and Zion as well. Therefore I commanded thee to go into the field where no foundation of any building was, for in that place wherein the highest began to show his city, there can no man's building be able to stand. And therefore fear not, let not thy heart be affrighted, but go thy way in, and see the beauty and greatness of the building, as much as thine eyes be able to see. And then shall thou hear as much as thine ears may comprehend, for thou art blessed above many others, and art called with the highest, and so are but few. But tomorrow at night thou shalt remain here, and so shall the highest shew thee visions of the high things, which the Most High will do unto them that dwell upon the earth in the last days. So I slept that night another, like as he commanded me. So Jerusalem will be on earth all over again. Zion will be having the sacrifices be made unto it. Remember Jerusalem, for that is our homeland, for we will be back in our homeland again. Esdras saw the vision. Esdras gave us the vision. Therefore, we know what's coming. So with that, Israel, shalom.